Well, up here in Canada's Yukon in midwinter, that is a rare sight. It doesn't peak above the horizon for many Canadians for many weeks of the winter months. We're going to drive, well, as far as it takes, until the sun doesn't come over the horizon anymore. Our journey of around 1,000 miles will be entirely on snow and ice. A similar length is the marathon dog sled race called the Yukon Quest from here to Alaska. Michelle Phillips has done the race and knows a fair bit about reading winter conditions.
So on your drive, if you happen to be heading into 40 below temperatures, you're going to find the snow has a lot of different conditions. Right now it's about -15, and as we look at the snow here, you'll see the snow has quite a bit of moisture in it. It sticks together. As the snow gets to be -40, it becomes very granular, like frozen ice, and things don't glide, and it's very sticky.
The car we're using is the brand new Jaguar XJ all-wheel drive, aimed at markets such as the wintry snow belt of North America. We're going one further and taking it about as far north in North America, in fact the world, as an automobile can go, heading up the Dempster Highway towards the Arctic. Driving in northern Canada is all about self-preservation. The temperature gauge says it's 40 below. By dawn, that has plummeted to -50. We were in the coldest town on Earth that day. Cold enough to freeze the mighty Yukon River solid, and also cold enough to kill.
You gotta watch what you're doing. You know, you don't want to spend a lot of time outside. Your skin can freeze right quick, and vehicles, you have issues with them. You want to be prepared. You know, your power steering freezes up on your vehicles, brake lines freeze, tires gets really hard. I would recommend traveling in a group, at least one other vehicle. You know, make sure you got sleeping bags, warm winter clothing, satellite telephones. If you run into trouble, you can call somebody for help. If you don't happen to have that gear or it turns too cold, a lot of people end up doing is taking the air out of their spare tire and lighting the spare tire on fire. And that'll give you probably 45 minutes, an hour of real hot heat. And then you can get some of these green trees and get fires going with them.
The last town before hitting the road to the Arctic is Dawson City. Founded in the gold rush of the 1890s, it's epicenter of a 21st century gold rush. High tech, and with gold at over $1,500 an ounce, high stakes.
In 1898, we had roughly 30,000 people show up in the Klondike Stampede, scrambling to get up to stake their claim and find their fortune. They found between 13 and 20 million ounces of gold. In the last 2 or 3 years, we've found 6 million ounces of gold. And I've been successful enough that we've done it under my belt in a sense. Now we're actually more scientifically approaching it with these new GPS, GIS technology, soil sampling, airborne geophysics. So there's a whole application, and it's the modern day exploration method. And what I've been able to do for my success was bring the bush skills with the modern day computer skills and apply them both together and work with both of them. The Dempster Highway that you guys are going to be driving up was called originally the Road to Resources, and it was pushed in there in the late 70s to gain access to the mineral wealth up there.
Well, we pulled over by the side of the Dempster Highway because for a few minutes I'm going to give up the Jag and jump in that massive truck driven by Steve Moore, who's one of the stars of the Ice Road Trucker TV series, which featured the Dempster as one of its most extreme journeys.
Well, the colder it gets, the worse it's going to be, usually, but it all depends on how well the machinery's kept up, and something's going to go, it's going to go. Not a lot you can do about it. The only good thing about cold weather is the driving is so much better. It's clearer, you can run faster. When it's warmer out, like closer to freezing and stuff, then you get more snow and more slimy temperature. That's the worst. There's not a lot of people, so if something happens, you're basically on your own. You could die, I guess, if you get left there and nobody gets you.
That's it. The sun is behind the horizon now for the next few weeks. Well, the sign says it all. This is the Arctic Circle, and therefore this is going to be the end of our amazing journey. It's lunchtime here, and there is no sign at all of the sun popping over the horizon. What a trip! Minus 50 degrees, a challenge for humans and a challenge for vehicles. But the XJ all-wheel drive has got us here to the end of a fantastic adventure.